Hello everyone, it's Gus, aka Gustifer here on YouTube and over on Twitch. For my July setup, I had a lot of issues figuring out what I wanted to do with this spread, so I ended up looking to what I've been up to recently, and mainly I've been customizing my Animal Crossing island. On my calendar cover, I wanted the first thing you see on the page to be one of the first things most people pay attention to when first visiting your island or town, that being my town flag. My current island flag was actually partially based on the flag I had in Animal Crossing New Leaf on the 3DS, and that one had a star in it that was like within a circle, and it was actually like an old logo I had that I used for art a lot. But I wanted to give it a new spin and make it a little more relevant to my New Horizon island, hence I added in a moon. This is because my island's name is Lumina, and I wanted to have different lunar aspects to it. There are also some sun-related things since my island's name uses the base word lumen, which is a measurement of light. So I utilized my old star-based flag and added in the moon. It was the decision to draw my flag that pushed me to use gold and purple accents throughout my setup. I am still at my sister's house and am still not currently streaming on Twitch, but I look forward to my return to it. Although at this rate, when I return home, I will also be returning to both my workplace as well as my university, so bear with me as I reacclimate to everything around me. My first weekly spread is pretty lackluster, I'm afraid, as I couldn't really think of anything to accompany the basic squares that I put down. I will more than likely utilize the space later for just doodles and notes when I'm actually using the spread. My second weekly spread, however, is highly planned out. In fact, it is due to this spread that I ended up basing my whole setup on Animal Crossing in the first place. I was drawing the little plant holders from Animal Crossing, then I decided, why not add more Animal Crossing? And I went away with filling up all the sidebars with many doodles. It is in this spread that I made a special tracker for my turnip stonks. For those of you that do not know, turnips is a form of investment stock market in the game, where you buy turnips on Sundays, and then throughout the week you get the chance to sell them at a higher price than you bought them for. It can be beneficial to some to write down the different prices that you receive throughout the week. Keep in mind that your turnip prices are different during the morning and the afternoon, usually changing at noon depending on where you're at, and you can plug these numbers into a stock market calendar to try and see if your prices will be going up later in the week or if you should get rid of them as soon as possible. I have personally been using the nooknet.net turnip tracker, but there is a tracker on the ACNH Life app that is powered by turnipprofit.io. Just a disclaimer that I have not seen big results with these tracking services personally, but I also have not been extremely diligent in recording my daily prices. This is mainly due to the fact that I've just been falling back on friends and Discord servers that I'm in to sell my turnips for an actual profit. I definitely recommend messaging friends and asking if their turnip prices are better if you're having no luck on your own island. big info dump aside, back to the spread. I continued to use purple throughout the spread using these boxes with center justified weekday headings. For my Saturday and Sunday box, I drew KK Slider and Daisy May on their respectively scheduled days. My sister was kind enough to allow me to use her phone for illustration references, as I was already using my phone to film all of this. Calling back to me using my phone, I started having filming issues around this point as my memory card was filling up, so it stopped recording. Luckily, I noticed pretty quickly and was able to restart the recording, though I picked up my actual drawing pace to combat this, so my lines became a little less clean. For this final spread, I did one page with a classic yellow Animal Crossing tent and some red hyacinths to take up some dead space, and on the adjacent page, I did a Celeste themed page complete with shooting star weekday headers and, of course, Celeste herself. it was here that the memory card filled up, and I had to finish the final touches off camera, little to my knowledge at the time. So here's the final result for my July setup. I will start with saying that colored pencil is not my forte, and I was having some issues blending these together on this specific paper without the paper trying to rip or like disintegrate as I was coloring in, as you can see on the bamboo. Granted, this is a pretty cheap bullet journal that I got at my local Walmart. Avid Animal Crossing fans will notice that I quoted the New Leaf fortune teller Katrina. We are, after all, going through some bad times right now. Once again, I really love how my second weekly spread turned out with all the different colors and doodles. I have also noticed a small predicament with my bullet journal, and that predicament is that I seem to be a little too efficient with how I compress my monthly and weekly spreads. This is how much of my bullet journal I have used this year, and we are only halfway through the year. This is how much more I have to use, give or take a few pages in the back that I used for bleed and some yearly trackers. And that wraps up my July setup. Thank you all for watching and making it this far. Make sure you're staying safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.